Hello and welcome to A Cup of Tea with Dr. Z, where we share everyday stories with you, everyday women. Are you ready to hear heart-to-heart key issues that we all face, no matter where we are in the world? So grab your cup of tea and let's welcome your host, author, international speaker, reinvention strategist, and woman that's full of faith in God and mankind, Dr. Zena Arinzi.
Hello, everyone around the world. How are you? Welcome to A Cup of Tea with moi, Dr. Z. Just having some Earl Grey here. How have you all been? I hope you've all been well. This is episode 10. I had a 1 week break. I just needed to sort of clear my head and practice some self-love a little bit. And yeah, I'm happy to be back. I've missed you. I wonder if you've missed me too. I've really missed you. So, we're talking about love. This is about love. February is a month of love. So I'm giving you a heart from my heart space to your heart space. Yes, I am grieving a little bit. I am grieving a lot actually, but we need to move forward. You can't pour from an empty cup. Excuse me. It's really important to love yourself in all the different things, all the different situations. Oh, I don't know. I've got to. In all the different situations you find yourself, life is about ups and downs, and all of us have to be able to navigate the various terrains that we find ourselves in. But it all starts with you, number one. So today we are going to be talking about pouring yourself a cup of self-love. It all starts with self-love. And I've got the amazing, phenomenal, all the way from, I'm not going to say sunny Michigan because it's not always sunny in Michigan, but all the way from Michigan, USA, the phenomenal Shanita Brumwell. And she's been on the show before last year and she's back again. And I'm going to right now bring her in. She's in the green room, wondering what I'm talking about and why I'm setting her up, because she's really an amazing woman. She's a psychologist, she's a coach, she's an international speaker, but she's an extraordinary woman, just like me and you, an extraordinary woman, an everyday woman going through the ups and downs of life as well, but also doing extraordinary things around the world. So without further ado, I'm going to invite the phenomenal Shanita into the house. Shanita.
Yeah. Hello. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming again. I'm so grateful. Thank you. The last time we spoke, we spoke about all sorts of things that can really help people in terms of boundaries and all that.
Yes.
And today, I don't know if you want to do a quick recap on that, but today we're going to be talking about self-love. This is the month of love, and every year we've got Valentine's Day, and people are either happy because they've got lots of flowers or unhappy because they didn't get the flowers or the roses or the car or the perfume or whatever it is, or the vacuum cleaner. If someone gave me a vacuum cleaner, I'd probably fling it at them, but but whatever it is, I mean, my house is covered in flowers for obvious reasons. So I got my flowers from love, because people love me and people are sending flowers to send condolences. I've got flowers everywhere. So if you are listening to me right now and perhaps you didn't get any flowers, I'm more than happy to send you mine. No, not really. Right. And so, like I said in the intro, it's really important for us to be able to start by giving ourselves grace.
Yes.
Whatever we're going through. Sometimes we have ups and sometimes we have downs, but as an adult we have to be able to navigate those terrains because they will come. Although this isn't a Christian show, the Bible says that we should count it all joy. It's in James somewhere. Count it all joy when we go through diverse trials. It's not an if, but when. So we are going to have all sorts of trials and tribulations, but we're also going to have lots of joy as well. So life is, like the young people, the Gen Zs, sometimes they say life is not life in, you've got ups and downs, but that's what it is. But it starts with loving yourself. Now, I don't know the phenomenon. If I don't talk about it, people are thinking, oh, where's this lady? Oh, there's this woman, Risa Tisa, on, I need to turn off. I can hear some notifications that I need to turn off. Let's just turn that off right now. Right, that's good. Yeah, so people have been talking about the Risa Tisa. I think I've got her name correct on TikTok, and she's done an amazing, phenomenal 50-part, 51, 52-part series on Who the F Did I Marry? And one of the things, I haven't listened to the whole 50 parts. Each part is 10 minutes long. I haven't listened to all that, but I have listened to bits and pieces and people's summaries. People are talking about it all over the world. So I'm here in England and people are talking about it here. It's on the news and everything. And I hear that people want her to write a book. People are thinking about doing a show, a Netflix, whatever, but it's all of a sudden, it's an international phenomenon. And I remember one thing she said, which, there are loads of things that she said. She'd made lots of mistakes because she was looking for love. Like many of us, you're looking for love, and sometimes you look for love in the wrong places, or you look for love in what you think is the right place, and it ends up being the wrong place. But the key thing I took away from that is self-love is so important. And I guess because she loves herself, she's able to move forward from all the different things that have happened, the deceit and everything else, to be able to share her story. So I guess sharing her story like this so openly is like a form of self-love, a form of therapy for herself, but also a way to show other people things that you need to look out for and things you shouldn't do, and why it's important to not be ashamed of your journey, and so because of that, I thought it would be good for us to talk about self-love and why it's important. So I'm going to put that into your court now, Shanita. Why is self-love important?
Self-love is all about, filling up your cup. You talked about the ups and downs of life. And if your cup is not filled, when you have those downwards parts of life, you're going to really not handle it well. So it's self-love, it helps you to really pour into yourself, but to utilize what you have put inside of you in those moments of need.
Yes.
You need to put that. You need love. You need to spend time with meditation, spend time in prayer, to fill yourself up so you can handle those ebbs and flows of life. And then it also helps you not look outside of yourself for it, but to know when you do receive it, that is extra. A lot of times, especially where I grew up, a lot of ladies, they looked outside of themselves for love. They're always searching for love, and was in the wrong place, basically, with the wrong person or people. And that's what you want, to prevent yourself from having to look outside of yourself for that love that you need. Yes, you do need love, but it's within you and you can generate that. And also, if you're Christian, you believe in God. God is love. And you can spend time in meditation and in his presence and receive that love from him. So we're talking today on ways you can begin to pour into yourself, ways you could fill your own cup. And let's talk about that cup for a second. We all have a cup, and we have the power to fill it ourselves. We don't need to look outside of ourselves to fill it. We don't need to look for a family or for friends or for a job or for the community to fill that cup. That's our responsibility to fill our own cup. Okay? And you want to fill your cup to overflowing.
Yes.
Because it's out of that overflow, that's what you want to begin to give to others. Whenever we don't pour into ourselves, we begin to feel drained.
Yes. Yes.
always exhausted, always tired emotionally. We begin to feel resentful of our situation or
Mm,
circumstances.
mm.
We begin to have basically a pity party.
Yeah.
We're having this pity party because we've we're empty. We're on empty. And self-love is about filling yourself up so you do not become empty, because that emptiness changes how we see life. It changes our perspective,
Yes.
and it changes how we respond to life. And that's just sometimes it's negative.
Yes. 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 Yes.
So in terms of self-love and things that we need to do, like I said before, meditation. If you're Christian, prayer. And there's other things that you can do as well. And these are things that I incorporate in my own life. There are plenty of things for you to do, but make sure you do what you need to do for
Yes.
you.
Yes.
I
Yes.
will give you the steps that I take, but that may not resonate with you.
That's
You
right.
need to do what's going to resonate with you, what's going to fill your own cup. For example, I love nature. Going for a walk in nature, that fills my cup. But that might not resonate with you.
Yes.
Some
Yes.
people like the city life, walking down the street, listening to the cars pass by. That
Yes.
feels good.
Yes.
So
Yes.
understand, when I give these tips, you need to just figure out which ones will work for you. Okay.
That's really important. That's true. I mean, as you were just saying that, there's a song, and and this will be helpful for those that are people of faith. That says, "Fill my cup, Lord." Fill my cup, Lord. And so sometimes, if you're struggling to fill your cup, you're listening to Shanita. She's gonna in a few seconds. She's gonna share her tips, which some will resonate, and you can borrow, take it free of charge. But what's important also is to write down your steps, incorporate hers, mine, whoever's. Speak to the Lord. For those of you that are people of faith, ask the Lord to fill your cup. Ask the Lord to show you that you are worthy of love. And I'm not talking about worthy of other people's love. You are worthy of love, but you're worthy of your own love, your self-love. You might have felt that you've made a mistake in the past. Maybe you've looked for love in the wrong places, maybe whatever, or you've done things that you're not proud about, and that's fine. But you still need to practice and nurture and grow and develop self-love. It is so, so important, because people will relate to you based on how you love, to the degree that you love yourself. Some people will try to pull you down and say, "Oh, she feels she's too bougie," or "She feels she's too..." That's fine. But the way you carry yourself, the way that you love on yourself, is the way that the right people will love on you. And if you treat yourself with disdain, if you don't, and I'm not talking about the way you dress, that's all fantastic. We all know how to dress properly. And before we went on, I was busy wearing makeup just so that I can look a bit presentable, because I was looking a bit ashy, so we all know how to do that. But it's more about what you carry on the inside, because Shanita is absolutely correct. What you carry on the inside is what's going to sustain you during those days of, or months or years of ebbs and flows, during those trials, during the terrain that's rocky, because of what you have on the inside. If you love yourself sufficiently enough, you will be able to navigate those trials. But if you don't love yourself, whatever people put on top of you, you'll say, "Yes, it's my fault. Oh, I'm a horrible mother. I'm a horrible wife. I'm a horrible girlfriend. Nothing good ever comes to me. I don't deserve this. I no wonder I lost my job. It's always, why me? It's always happening to me. There must be something about me that..." Those are the kind of things that you're going to be playing in your mind. You're going to think, well, there's no need doing this, or there's no need, working out to lose weight, or there's no need trying to change my diagnosis, and whatever it is. There's no need doing something, because after all, negative things always happen to me. So when you say that about yourself, it means that you don't value yourself. And if you are a person of faith, what it means as well is that you are saying that God has made a mistake. And he isn't in the business of making mistakes. He made you, me, all of us, whether you are a person of faith or not. He made us out of love. For God so loved the world. And I'm not going to go because I'll starting church right now. So we'll just leave that. So,
but you said something. You mentioned how, individuals can sometimes begin to, beat themselves up, feel bad about themselves, put themselves down for things they've done in the past.
yeah.
So for that individual, one way you can express self-love to yourself is through forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself, giving yourself grace and mercy. I was saying the other day, and those steps of forgiveness is not just for you to forgive others, but for you to forgive yourself.
Yes.
And to begin to walk through that. It's like, okay, I this is the mistake I made. I forgive myself from this mistake. This is what I've learned from this mistake, and this is how I'm going to move forward. So that's the way you begin to forgive yourself and begin to let it go. So one of those things that she mentioned, Miss Dr. Zena mentioned, is, when you're feeling bad about yourself or feeling guilty or ashamed about something you've done, that's when you begin to offer yourself forgiveness.
Yes. I love that.
That is a key in self-love.
I love that.
Because another step I put down, I have down, is meditation. And this is something that I do daily, meditation. When you're sitting and meditating with yourself, all of that stuff is going to come up.
Yes.
Things are going to come up because you're sitting there, you're quiet, you're just, listening, and it's going to come up. Everything you've done. Oh, you shouldn't be sitting here. This is what you did. This is what you said. This is how you feel. You shouldn't be. No. And that's when you offer that forgiveness.
Yes.
Take that time during meditation and offer yourself forgiveness and begin to love yourself in that process.
Yes.
Love yourself. Give yourself that forgiveness.
Yes.
And understand that those thoughts are always going to come. Constantly offer up forgiveness, just like you would your friends.
Yep.
Offer forgiveness, and that's one way that you can begin to love yourself. Stop beating yourself up. Offer yourself forgiveness. Now, another thing in a step in self-love is affirmations. What is it that you're telling yourself? That's another thing that will come up during that time of meditation, is stuff that we tell ourselves. So maybe you need to change your language. What is it about you that's positive? What is it about you that's positive? Turn that into what I am. I am kind. I am forgiving.
Yes.
I am graceful.
Yes.
Turn it into what I am and make that your affirmation.
Yes.
Individuals I work with, I have them all make an affirmation list of at least 10 to 20 I ams. And then I have them make another list. I am becoming.
Come on now. I am becoming.
Yes, I am becoming. What is it that you're working on? What is it that you need to strive for in this life?
Yes.
What do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Yes.
How do you see yourself relating to others around you?
I love that.
That becomes an I am becoming.
I love that.
Self-love. That's you pouring into yourself. That's you filling your own cup. You're not waiting for somebody else to give you an affirmation, a word of affirmation, or telling you you're nice, or that was lovely, or you're beautiful. No, you're telling that to yourself.
Yes.
Okay. Self-love.
I like that. You've heard it from the expert, and we haven't finished yet, but if you're not making notes, I would really strongly encourage you to get your pen, your paper. If you're old school, if you're new generation, Gen Z like me, not really, but if you're new generation, get out your laptop, your iPad, your phone, whatever, and you can, get your phone and put it in there, or if you haven't done that now, you can start now. It's not too late. Write down at least 10, minimum 10 I am statements. I am statements. It doesn't matter if you're not that now, but I am. So write what you want to be in the present. I am this. I am beautiful. I am forgiving. I am positive. I am purposeful. I am intentional. I am love. I am worthy of love. I am worthy. I am enough. Write them down. I am I've got to put this one. Sorry, hallelujah. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. You got to put those I am statements. It just reminds me of the film The Help. And you remember the little girl, her mom, the little white girl, her mom, was, neglectful. And the maid, Viola Davis, I think it was Viola Davis, or maybe it was the other way. I think it was Viola Davis, was telling the little girl, you is this, you is this, you is this. So she was telling her what she is, because sometimes you might be listening right now, you're going to say, oh, Shanita, it's easy for you to say. Oh, Zena, it's easy for you to say. You don't know what I've gone through as a child. I went through this, I went through that. My parents left me, whatever it is, husband, I was, I'm not going to belittle or invalidate what you have gone through, because that is your story, but that is not your destination.
True.
It's not your destination. That's your past. You can always rewrite your happy ever after at any point in time. You can write the story that you want to tell. What people tend to do is people tend to remember your negative experiences. And so when you see someone, I'm like, oh, hi, you see someone you haven't seen since high school. Oh, how are you? How are you now? Maybe you were suicidal then, but you're not anymore. They'll be talking to you. How are you now? In that kind of condescending, trying to take you back to where you are, where you were. But when you know who you are and you keep telling yourself day by day, I am this, I am that, I am the other. Put it on your wardrobe, put it on your fridge, put it on your mirror, wherever it is you need to put it where you'll see it, but don't just write it on your phone. Have it up so that you can see, because you will have those down moments. And then the things, Shanita, thank you so much. The things that you're not quite there yet, but you believe that you are becoming, write what you are becoming. I am becoming smart. I am becoming better in my choices. I am becoming financially wise or financially careful. I am becoming neat and tidy. I am becoming punctual. That's one of mine. So I am becoming punctual. Whatever it is, write what it is, what you are becoming. Because the more you put what you are now, or I am now, side by side, and what you're becoming, so that you can see the progress that you are making. We all talk about goal setting and goal getting is all fantastic, but the best place to start is what you are, who you are, what you tell yourself, what you pour in your cup of love. Oh, I'm so rude, Shanita, I didn't offer you a cup of tea.
That's okay. That's okay.
No, all right. I'm more than happy to pour some for you if you want. All right, let's pour. Okay. Right. Okay. So we know the saying that says, you can't pour from an empty cup. You really can't. And it's the same thing with love. Hurting people hurt people. So if you, for whatever reason, are finding it difficult to fill up your cup of self-love, if you're finding it difficult to love yourself, you will, without meaning to, be resentful of people that are enjoying that kind of relationship with themselves. Someone like me, people know I travel a lot on my birthday, with or without anybody. I'm going somewhere on my birthday to really, love on myself, really celebrate myself. And I'll tell you a quick story, a testimony. Just before I heard the news about my mom, and that's, we're not going to talk about that today, but here I was in Portugal. I had spent my birthday in January. And if you are listening and you did send me a happy birthday message and I haven't responded, please do give me some grace. I will respond, imminently, Just, once I get through this current terrain that we're going through. But anyway, so here I was, and because of the way that I treated myself from the second I got into the resort, oh my days, there were roses in my room, there was champagne, there was chocolates, there was all sorts of things. I'm like, for me, wow. And I also had an event, and I said I had this event. They made sure they put lighting in my room, did all sorts of things that I needed. They spoilt me rotten. You would think it was like a 50th birthday or 60th or 40th birthday. It was just a whatever I was last year plus one birthday, but I was spoilt to the nines. Spoilt to the nines. Had a massage, I had this spa day, and they said you could spend 3 hours, have do the massage and spend 3 hours. I was there for more than 3 hours, and they said, okay, it was your birthday, they said, oh, you're supposed to buy a hat, because to cover your head and all that. I'm like, oh, but I've got short hair. So are you bored? I'm like, no. They said, okay, I'll give that to you free. So they gave that to me for free, didn't pay for that. And I had the massage that was supposed to be, I think, an hour, but it was 90 minutes. And then I went into, it was just lovely because I loved on myself. Now, if I didn't talk about it, I wouldn't have gotten that. They don't know me from Adam. I said, oh, hi, it's my birthday tomorrow. Oh, is it? I don't like my room. I can't see the sea. How much would I pay to actually change my room? I want a different view. Right, okay, we'll see if we'll have to find out first if there's any available room. Okay, we'll get someone to take you to the room to have a look and see if you like it. I'm like, okay. Then it still didn't tell me how much it was. I'm like, Lord, can I afford this? I was just thinking in my head. I'm like, okay. So I went, they took me to the room. I'm like, oh yeah, I love this room. Okay, so we'll get the guy to come and take your stuff and change the room. I'm like, okay, so how much is it? Do I pay when I'm leaving? They said, no, you have it on the house. So, yes. And that is because, and just to touch on something you said earlier on, you don't know what's around the corner. You really don't. You have no idea. I didn't know that I was going to lose my mum. Had no idea, and I stocked up so much on celebrating myself and enjoying myself, so that when I got the news that she was unwell, I knew I needed to come back from Portugal and, fix up myself and then go to the States where she was. But I still had that time to kind of decompress, still kind of live in that denial phase, enjoying myself on my holiday, and then come back and then like, okay. And that's because I stocked up. So why am I saying this? You have no idea what's around the corner. You have none of us do. So it's important that you stock up on your self-love. And I'm going back to the expert again. That's enough of me. Back to you, Shanita. Back to you.
Now, that was good. First of all, that was good. That was a really good example of why you should pour into yourself. Why taking care of yourself, self-care, self-love is important, because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now, another way that is truly important and is part of self-love is taking that time, because this benefits you mentally, but it also benefits you physically. Taking the time every day to practice gratitude. Practice gratitude.
Yes.
It matter of fact, it doesn't really take too much time to practice gratitude. You can when you wake up in the morning, thank you for this day. Thank you that I'm breathing.
Yeah.
Thank you for this nice bed that I'm sleeping in.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you go to bed at night, offer up thanks. Practicing gratitude. It is so beneficial to our mental and our physical health, but it also our spiritual health too. Practice gratitude. And that's another way you can begin to pour into yourself.
That's true.
Pour into yourself. Take care of you. Take care of this temple.
Yes. Yeah.
Talking about the temple.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mention a couple more that you may not like. But another way to love yourself is to take care of your body.
Yeah.
Exercising. That shouldn't be an option for us, because we are always sitting down. Okay. It's
Sorry.
not like we're walking everywhere.
Mm,
No, we have cars, we have
yeah.
taxis, we have Ubers, we have
Mm,
buses,
mm,
we have trains.
mm,
Yes, we're not walking from one state to the next,
mm,
or from one part of the country to the next. No,
mm,
we're riding. We're always sitting. We're sitting on
yeah.
our jobs,
Yeah. Yeah. Sedentary.
exercising.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finding that time to exercise is
Yeah.
self-love. Is you taking care of your body. Is you decided, okay, I love myself, so I don't want diseases that can be
Yeah.
preventable through
Absolutely.
exercising.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
today, this is what I'm going to do, even though I may not want to or feel like it, or it may be cold outside. I'm going to do this. See, this is what goes through my mind in the mornings.
You and me too. You and me both, darling. You and me
I'm,
both.
I'm going to do this because I know my body needs it. I'm going to do this because I don't want the same diseases my parents have. I'm
Yeah.
going to do this because I love me.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And the second part to that goes along with exercising is healthy eating.
Yeah.
What are you feeding yourself?
Mm.
What goes in your mouth affects not only your physical body, but affects you mentally.
Yeah.
What are you feeding yourself? Are you loving yourself by eating the junk? Because that's going to have a negative outcome.
Yeah.
Or are you loving yourself by eating something that's healthy and that's good?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you feeding yourself? And another thing that I've noticed is what we eat doesn't just affect us mentally and physically, but what we eat actually affects us spiritually as well.
Yep. Yep. I heard that the other day as well, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are you feeding this body that you've been given? We talked about being gratitude and being grateful in the morning. Thank you, Lord, that I'm breathing. Thank you for my bed. Thank you that I have a roof over my head. I can move. Thank you. But you also have the power to take care of yourself and love you in a way that's going to give you a healthy life.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you feeding yourself?
Yeah.
Self-love.
That is right. I mean, that is so true. Coming back to the intro, we're talking about Valentine's, and you want people to love on you, but the loving on you that you're talking about is your physical and your emotional. So they buy you the flowers or the clothes or the car or the perfume and all that. That's on your physical and your emotional, but they're not. No one's going to help you get healthy. It has to be your decision. Like you said earlier on, you have to be accountable to you. You have to take responsibility for all your self-love cups. Whether you're pouring into your physical self-love cup, your emotional self-love cup, your spiritual in terms of meditation and reading the Bible or whatever it is that you believe in, but also what you eat. In technology, they say garbage in, garbage out. Also the Bible says that, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And it's the same thing. Out of what you eat is how your body will manifest. Oh, my back's hurting me, my knees hurting me. Oh, my toes are tingling. You might be pre-diabetic, but these things can be switched. They can be either controlled or completely, converted back, depending on, how far gone you are. Weight, it's not just about how you look and the weight you carry. It's about making sure that your arteries are, not blocked with fat, not blocked with the wrong things. It's about making sure your cholesterol levels are at the right level. It's about making sure you eat the right things. And you might be, I'm speaking right now, you might have a cup of tea full of sugar. You might be eating, that piece of chicken and all that. I'm not judging you because I do that too. But what I am saying is that you have to make that decision yourself. It's not, for me, people like me, it's easier because I'm vain. So I was looking at some photos the other day. I'm looking, I'm responsible for putting the tributes together and all that. So I'm looking through photos of my mom and stuff like that. And I'm looking at pictures. I'm like, man, no, I need to go back to the gym. But not everyone's like that. Some people don't care how they look. I have, added a few pounds, well, many pounds. So it's time to, I'm a gymmer, so it's time to go back to the gym. And it's so funny you were saying that, Shanice. So I was saying to myself just today, okay, tomorrow morning, gym. My daughter's tired of, because we normally go together at 4 a.m., but she's tired of saying, Mum, are you coming? She just goes, because I've been in the, but I thought, I said to myself today, tomorrow morning, my stuff is already ready, back at the gym, because you're not going to like it when you first do it. That walk, that treadmill, whatever it is that you do. And you don't have to be a gymmer. You can just go on a walk, whatever it is. You're not going to like it. But once you do it and you get into the hang of it, it takes me about a week. Not that you see the weight drop, but you start feeling better about it. And then you feel that consistency, that urge. But when you're off the ladder, when you fall off the wagon, it's like, oh God, I was just saying to myself, oh God, that treadmill. I already know the inclines I do. I'm like, oh man, I'm not going to be able to do this, but I'm going to go. Oh God. I was always saying that, but I'm going. So that might be you. The reason why I share this is so you don't feel that we're speaking to you from a place of perfection. We're speaking to you from a place of we are becoming. So for some people, it might be spiritual. For some people, it might be physical. But we're all on this journey to become. If you are a mom, for instance, and you've got little children and you have to keep running up, you have to be healthy to run after those children. You have to be healthy. Maybe you're a teacher, maybe you have two jobs. And you're trying your best to, with this cost of living, trying your best to keep your head, above water and feed your children or whatever it is. You need to be healthy. For those of you that are like me, maybe you're a coach or you're a speaker and you travel around the world, you have to be healthy. We're not always going to be on Zoom. Many of us travel all over the world to speak. You have to be healthy. And so what we're saying is take responsibility. Take your life back into your hands. The flowers are fantastic. The roses, they're all fantastic. But it can't do for you what you can do for yourself. Don't give somebody else the power to do what you can do for yourself. Love on you from the inside out. And then other people will know how they will love you. Your children will know how to love you. Your husband, your spouse, your partner, your boyfriend, whatever, will know. That your boss at work will know how to treat you, because you treat yourself with grace, with gravitas, with dignity. Because you're right. If you eat properly, you exercise, gratitude, you take responsibility, it just comes out from every pore of your skin. People see you like, oh, I like the way she carries herself, because you have that kind of inner contentment. You have that inner peace that, what, I am worthy. When God said, let me make man in my own image, and he made me. He made me because he felt I was worthy. I deserve my little space in this world. This temple, I need to, and you don't need to be religious, but you need to look after you. No one can look after you better than you. Some of you might be married. Oh, my husband didn't do this. He's supposed to know that. He's not supposed to have done this. He didn't get this. I gave him all sorts of hints. That's all good. And you can talk to him about that, but still start with loving you.
And you talked about the inside. If you're struggling with loving yourself, maybe your inside is filled up with traumatic experiences that's never been processed. And that's the time that you need to go to therapy.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for saying that.
We all go through traumatic experiences, but you're going to have to begin to process that and learn how to continue to process that, because you're going to always live in this life, and so things are going to happen. And learn how to continue to process things that goes on, experiences that you have, so you can fill your own cup and love yourself. You know, when we're filled with those traumatic experiences and they resonate within our body, because remember, trauma affects you more physically than it does mentally. Okay, so when that trauma is resonating and living within your being, you'll have a hard time focusing on you and loving yourself. And you'll be looking for everybody else to do for you what you need to do for yourself, because you haven't taken that time to look inward and really begin to deal and release the trauma that you've experienced.
I was going to say, when you're having fun, time goes quickly. I don't mean fun in we're dancing, but we know that we are impacting and imparting things that will resonate with someone who it could just be one extraordinary lady, wherever you are around the world. You could be in Australia, in England, Jamaica, Nigeria, India, Pakistan, Ukraine, wherever it is you are in around the world. If this resonates, please, please, please do take down everything that you've heard and implement. I'm not going to be there to see you. I'm not going to stand over unless you contact myself or Shanita and ask us to coach you. But take this at least. Take this. It's free of charge, and implement it. Implement it. In this month of love, February, start with yourself. Implement, walk in grace. Forgive yourself. If you have unresolved trauma, maybe you have a childhood trauma experience, or even if it's an adult, but you're going through some sort of traumatic experience. Sometimes it manifests in the way you behave. Sometimes you might be shaky, you might have whatever it might be. Get help. Love yourself enough to get help. I'll share Shanita's details. You can reach out to her. I'm sure she'll be able to help you in one way or another, but get help. Speak to someone. Don't die in silence. Don't allow shame to cripple you. Get help. That starts with self-love. Get help. Get help. And don't give away your power and someone else has to. No, you do it. And I'm going to shut up now and let Shanita round up with some final words.
All right. So when pouring into yourself, you may actually say, well, I have kids and I don't have time.
Yeah.
One of the things I tell ladies, okay, you have young kids, put them on a schedule.
Yeah.
And it's your responsibility to get up an hour ahead of them and pour into yourself.
Yeah.
How many times with young kids do you go around on empty? It's like, I am tired, I am exhausted, but I have to keep going and I keep going. And then you're yelling at this, you're yelling at that, you're yelling because there's a piece of paper on the floor.
Yeah.
That means you're walking around on empty.
Yeah.
So they say, okay, we're going to get on the schedule. This is my time that I'm going to pour into myself. Everybody's in bed by 8:30, from 8:30 to 9:30. If you're an evening person, pour into yourself.
Yeah.
If you're a morning person, that means you get up around 5 o'clock and pour into yourself before they get up for school.
Yeah.
So we're giving you these tips, but you have to incorporate these in your life by finding that time.
Yes.
You may have to do some type of adjustment to your schedule, to your kids' schedule. Find the time to pour into yourself. That way you can pour into them. That way, when they do something that's off the wall, you don't go off the handle, start yelling. That way you can just sit and be with them and love on them, because you are overflowing with that love. And they will know the difference in your life.
I love that. 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 Timetable yourself in. Put yourself on the timetable. Put yourself in the diary. I could go on forever, and time is something that we all have 24 hours. So I think use what you have heard today. Listen to the replay over and over again. Make notes, but not just make the notes. put them on your wall, wherever works for you, and do something. Practice self-love, because self-love, they say, what has love got to do with it? What has self-love got to do with it? Everything. It starts with self-love. Thank you so, so much for listening. It's been a blast. Shanita, it's always a pleasure and honor to have you. Thank you for sharing your expertise and, your beautiful tips. I was making notes as well. Some things that I don't do, some things that I can adjust a little bit more. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. What's the weather like in Michigan? I didn't ask you.
Well, I'm looking outside. It's cloudy and cold. Right. It's cold today, but it was warm yesterday and sunshine. So you never know what you're going to get right now.
Well, this is it.
Yeah.
Oh my days. Thank you so, so much. I'm just going to, something's telling me that, people want some more, but maybe we'll do another, more, maybe we'll look for one topic that we've discussed and maybe expand on it later on at another time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. God bless you. And we will see you soon. You heard it from the amazing, phenomenal Shanita Bromwell. We will share her details so that you can reach out to her if you need help with any kind of trauma. But with this is me, Dr. Z, a cup of tea with who? Me, Dr. Z. Thank you so much and have a beautiful, beautiful weekend.
Thanks for listening to A Cup of Tea with Dr. Z, your reinvention queen. We hope you've been motivated and inspired to go out there and conquer any obstacles and issues you may face. You can find Dr. Zena on all social platforms. Until next time, remember, you're not alone.